Silly, silly.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, Silly Silly. I'm Fatima.
And I'm Elliot. And today we're going to be doing a follow-up video to the last one we did about overrated things. Mm-hmm. And today we're going to be talking about underrated things. So the things that we believe are the most underrated. Mm-hmm. We each have picked 3 things, and then we have a few honorable mentions at the end.
Mm-hmm. And like we put out a disclaimer in the last video, these are purely subjective.
Super subjective.
They're based on our opinions alone.
Yeah. At least for me, I don't think like anyone is going to agree with my items. So,
really?
Yeah, probably. Well, maybe a couple of people.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we starting with you or me?
I think we can start with me.
Okay. Go for it. What's your number 3 most underrated thing?
Okay. I think that some of the most underrated things ever are heating pads and heated blankets. Mm-hmm. And hear me out. I know that some people like it. People that tend to run cold, use them year round, like me. But a lot of women or people use them for, period pains or whatnot, or back pains. However, hear me out. If you've had a long day and your muscles are sore and it's the middle of the summer, if you have like a really nice quality like heated blanket or heated pad, and you turn it on and you just put it on your back or wherever you're hurting or sore, it can be life-changing.
I mean, I agree 1,000%.
I don't think that they get enough recognition. I think people use them here and there, mm-hmm. like small heating pads for like, pains and sores and what else, like cramps and whatnot. But I think heated blankets and heated, pads.
Yeah, I mean, we have one on the couch that we keep there 24/7.
Our cats
the cats love it. We love it.
Yes.
So whenever we're watching TV, movies, we'll turn it on. I like that one. I agree 100%. Mm-hmm. I agree it's underrated. So. All right, so my number 3 thing is jigsaw puzzles. So I know it sounds funny, but like I kind of feel like people think of jigsaw puzzles as like a children's thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. People don't necessarily think of jigsaw puzzles as the go-to fun activity. Mm. And some people even think that they're boring. Mm. But I don't know. There's kind of a coziness associated with a good jigsaw puzzle. And I don't think that they get enough recognition. People need to do more jigsaw puzzles. It's good to like put your mind to something like that. And the sense of accomplishment you get whenever you finish a jigsaw puzzle is really nice.
I agree. And I also think they're versatile enough to where like, if you're the kind of person that like gets overwhelmed when you see those really, really minute ones that are just, they're the color theory and you just have to figure it out. There's not really an image. There's this, the simpler ones too, which you can enjoy. You can do them like really quickly. You can frame them. I agree with that.
Yeah, and I personally have a lot of fond memories putting together jigsaw puzzles with family like during the holidays. So I love jigsaw puzzles.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I don't think they get enough recognition.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
What's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2 most underrated thing is Indian/Pakistani food. Hear me out on that one too. I can explain. So I know that, in America, people, or in the West, some people do appreciate Pakistani and Indian food, but we've talked about this. Indian and Pakistani food is not really franchised the same way that Chinese and Japanese food is franchised. And I think because of that, it has not been normalized. So, you don't really hear, Mexican food, Chinese, but then Indian and Pakistani food as an option for dinner as often. And I think that should be changed because I think that it's very flavorful, and I am obviously biased, but people that don't like a lot of different types of flavors in their, cuisine, they like simpler things, not a lot of spices, not a lot of, spice in general in their food. There's still more than enough options for those people.
I agree 1,000%. Mm-hmm. I also think that Indian Pakistani food is like the best cuisine ever. And I think that like a lot of people in the West, they associate the word spice with heat.
Yes.
But that's not necessarily the case. Like Indian and Pakistani food tends to be a lot more flavorful and full of spices like cardamom and cumin and
cilantro.
Yeah, all sorts of spices. Yeah. But I don't know. I think there's kind of an aversion for some people, at least, to the word spice in America.
I think people would appreciate Indian Pakistani food more if there were A, more options available, but then B, those options were more readily available.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is it should be franchised.
We need the Indian or Pakistani version of Taco Bell.
Yes.
Like Panda Express. We need like a, I don't know. There was a Masala Times in New York that was really good, but it's not like a huge franchise.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my number 2 is applesauce.
No.
So I don't know. I think that applesauce is very underrated. Like going back to the jigsaw puzzle thing, people think of applesauce and jigsaw puzzles, I guess, as children's things. You know, like we ate applesauce growing up, but I don't know. I think you can still enjoy applesauce as an adult, and I don't think enough people do. I think that people like underrate applesauce. People grow out of it, or they don't think it's like cool or trendy anymore. It's good. Applesauce is delicious. Especially if you have like cinnamon applesauce. You know, Mott's. I don't know what the other brands are, but it's always good. Applesauce is great.
So how do you what would you recommend that it should be eaten as? Like as a dessert, as a snack, as what?
It's a snack.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be a dessert. It's just something like maybe you've had a lunch that's lighter and you want a little snack to go with it.
Okay.
You know, you can get like the cup of Mott's or whatever. It's delicious. It works with anything. You can have it for around dinner time too. So
gotcha. And
maybe even breakfast. I don't know.
And it doesn't have too much sugar or anything?
No, not really.
Okay.
So, not that I mean, maybe, but I'm not sure.
No, I'm trying to gauge like if it's more of a dessert thing or like a what.
It's just a snack thing. It's like Jell-O, you know, like people have that as a snack. So.
Gotcha. I don't know if I like the texture of applesauce, but I can appreciate the taste.
Okay. All right. So now we're at your number 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. What do you believe is the most underrated thing?
I think at the top of my list, the most underrated thing in the world is, well, specifically in America, is an unmowed natural yard. I think that a yard that supports local flora and fauna and it's maintained. I'm not saying like it's just overgrown and crazy and it has weeds and bugs and whatnot, but if it's maintained well and it actually supports the local flora and fauna, I think that they're far more superior than a mowed yard that's, you know,
cookie cutter.
Very cookie cutter, but then it's also the quintessential, you know, suburban yard, which looks good and it has been deemed as sort of the, you know, what do you call it, the norm?
Yeah. Or
the way things should be.
What HOA likes.
HOA likes. And also people associate, you know, trimmed and prim and proper yard with cleanliness and maintenance and, you know, people are taking care of it. But I don't agree with that. If you grow, you know, local flowers and you grow your own food, your own vegetables or whatnot, and you maintain your space, and I think that's great.
I agree 100%.
But I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
I think that it needs to be more normalized. And also, I think more awareness needs to be spread about like how you can maintain a yard that's not just flat.
Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. I agree. All right. I think you're going to agree with me on my number 1 because it kind of goes along with one of your earlier ones.
What is it?
It is space heaters.
Oh!
Space heaters are the most underrated thing in the history of underrated things.
Yeah.
Dude, personally, I have we have like 4 space heaters. I keep them on year round. And I don't mean like just to heat the house up. I mean like I keep one on my feet. I mean like me personally, I have, you know, cold hands and feet throughout the day, especially when I'm working in my office. I love having a space heater on my feet or even in my hands, you know, sometimes. Yeah. So,
in his face.
In my face, you know, that it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
I just love direct artificial heat.
Direct artificial heat?
Yeah, exactly.
To the point.
Yeah. But I've sold her on space heaters and I've sold cats on space heaters. All of our cats sit in front of the space heaters now.
Yes, they do. They warm their little paws too. Sometimes they just hang their paws, which is the cutest thing in the world. Yeah,
they're just so cozy.
Yeah.
So you can like recreate cozy at any time. You know, even if it's the dead of summer. You know.
Yeah, and also because it's so convenient. You can move it. You don't need to.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Yeah. If you've taken a bath and you come out and you just get cold or whatnot, you can turn on a space heater for a little bit and then you can turn it off.
Agree.
And I agree. I was not sold on them immediately because I just had never thought of getting one. But then we met and he like showed me. I saw the light.
Space heaters are great, and if you don't have one, or if you're not sold on the idea, just try it.
Yeah.
Just get a space heater, turn it on at your feet like while you're working one day, and you'll realize pretty quickly.
Yeah. Trust us on that. Take it from someone who was not immediately sold on it, and once you start using it, you can't really go back.
Exactly. 100%.
Life changing.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right, are we going to hit on our honorable mentions now?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We are.
So I've got several. I think you have one honorable mention. Right?
I think I have 2.
2? Okay.
So do you want me to?
Yeah, go first.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just bullet listing these, by the way, so we won't spend too much time on them.
I think that high-rise jeans are underrated. And I'm not talking about skinny jeans. I'm talking about high-rise jeans. I think that they complement most, baggy shirts, tops, crop tops, all of that good stuff. Highly underrated. And then the second honorable mention I have is turtles.
I was going to put that.
And lizards and snakes. Especially lizards and snakes, because they have that, idea of weirdness associated with them when we think of them as pets. And I will put out this, warning, disclaimer: do not get, a snake or a lizard or any pet if you do not think you can take the responsibility seriously. They are not toys. You need to think about it. But they're so low maintenance, and they're so cute, and they're so chill.
Yeah.
And if you can adopt one, that needs to be rehabilitated, or, they cannot go out in the wild, and you can adopt one.
Yeah.
They're really, really nice.
All right, so I also have dal that I put down.
Oh, dal, yeah.
So I was going to say Indian Pakistani food in general, but I was a lot of people enjoy Indian and Pakistani cuisine, but dal is considered just a day-to-day food. It's just a normal lunch or dinner time meal. But I personally think that it's a treat. When you make dal for me, I feel like I've won the lottery.
Oh.
So I think that it's super, super underrated.
I agree.
And it shouldn't just be a lunch thing.
Yeah, so, I think it's a comfort food.
It is a comfort.
If you just have a plain dal with, rice or roti or something.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so I've also got Kindles and e-readers. So what I mean by that is there is, there is kind of a cool factor to having a lot of books on the shelf. I like books. It's nice to crack open a book, and there is something about having a physical copy of a book that's really nice. But on the other hand, you can put thousands and thousands of books on this one little tiny device, bring it anywhere you want. It's so portable. You can whip it out anywhere. After lunch, you could take it, on a bus ride with your train ride or whatever. And it's just so easy and accessible.
Yes.
You can change the font size. It's just the easiest way to consume a lot of books.
Yeah.
And you never have to worry about space, because books are like a megabyte each. So yeah.
They're better, I think, for trees.
Yeah.
You can conserve on paper, and I agree.
Yeah.
I actually agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I've got here is indoors. So what I mean by that is there is a glorification of outdoors, and I think that outdoors is wonderful. It's beautiful.
Is there a glorification?
Yeah, there's the idea of being out in nature is it's very glorified, and I agree. I think it's great to be outside. I think it's great to be in nature, but no one glorifies being inside. No one says what, it's really nice that we have indoors. You know what I mean? It's not I really want to get out into the good living room. I'm just saying, God made indoors for a reason.
God made indoors for a reason.
I think we should appreciate...
I'm pretty sure they're man-made.
I think we should appreciate indoors more audibly, I guess.
Yeah. More significantly.
Yeah, makes it significantly. You know what I mean?
I agree. I can agree with that in the sense that a lot of the times people that prefer to stay indoors are considered either reclusive, or there's a negative connotation sometimes associated with...
It's not considered good. It's get out of your house, which is good advice for sure. But also, indoors is nice. Yeah. It's nice to be inside.
I think what people mean when they say that is change your scenery or change your, environment, and that's good for your mental well-being. But I think that if someone prefers to stay indoors and they can occupy themselves healthily indoors, why not? Exactly. I agree with that, actually. The more that I think about it. Yeah.
So, and not to discount outdoors, because I also think that outdoors is underrated. But there's no glorification of indoors.
Yeah.
So
also, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think it's underrated.
Yeah. Also, there's a negative connotation. I think.
Yeah.
They should
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that does it. We got all of them, right?
Yeah, we did.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video. We're really excited to have you here again. Hopefully you've watched the previous videos, but if you haven't, then there will be links or buttons
Right
to
here?
them. Yeah, wherever they are.
Somewhere over here. On our faces, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We would love to have you back for the next one.
And also ring the bell so you all can be notified whenever we upload.
You don't want to miss a video from Silly Silly.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yep. You do not want to do that.
Yeah. We got a juicy one coming up next.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We don't know yet, but
Also, make sure to comment if you have any suggestions, if you would like to see something specific from us. And hopefully we will see you all in our next video.
see you next time.
Bye.